What's going on, guys? Arcager here with a brand new video for you guys. So, when it comes to Halo 5, and I don't do enough Halo videos, so I'm trying to pick that up. I oftenly, when I make videos about Halo 5, there's always the same kind of feel, same kind of thought towards it. I'll mention, this is what I like about Halo 5, and this is what I don't like about Halo 5. And people ignore the good and just focus on, yeah, Halo 5 sucks. And it's like, I actually like Halo 5, but there are things about Halo 5 that even someone like me who enjoyed it didn't really like. And I feel like when it comes to Halo 5, it could have been a lot better by making like small changes. I recently watched a video from Fomento, who makes videos about when he analyzes movies. And one of the things he made a video for was Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 was a terrible movie. So Fomento decided what changes could have been made to have improved Spider-Man 3. So what he did was he took out Venom entirely. He basically rewrote the script of Spider-Man, took out Venom, and then went from there. So I'm not going to go into like full details on everything, but if you want to watch that video, I'll attach it to this video at the end. But so I'll think about that when it comes to Halo. How would Halo 5 be better if they just made one change? Because Spider-Man 3 was a good movie for the most part, but the things that were bad made the rest of the movie so bad that you just ignored how good everything else was. And the same thing is with Halo 5. Halo 5 is a good game, but you ignore how good it is because everything else in the game that's bad sticks out. So that one thing that you could change in Halo 5 is Spartan Locke's storyline. I remember back when they first announced Halo 5, when they first started showing off Locke, it came off as a Spartan being hunted down by another Spartan. That's what the ads were. It was Locke talking about how he's just going to hunt down Chief because Chief went rogue and all this. And the idea had us intrigued because we thought we were going to be hunting down a Spartan. We thought we were going to just be tracking down a Spartan the entire time. There's going to be some huge ass fight about it. And that was be very compelling and engaging. The thing is, we didn't want that Spartan to be Chief. It would have been better if the roles were reversed. So imagine Halo 5 being a game where it's not Cortana that's leading the Guardians, it's Locke. Imagine Locke and some AI, it could be any AI, maybe even Roland. Say Roland goes rogue and he teams up with Locke, and they are the ones who join forces with the Guardians, who join forces with the Prometheans basically, and do everything that Cortana did in Halo 5, but it's them instead. And you, Chief, and Blue Team are tasked with hunting down Locke, hunting down Roland, and stopping them from doing what they're doing. That's a dynamic that's interesting. A Spartan hunting down a crazed, a rogue, a bad Spartan, a Spartan who turned. Every great story has that. Every great story has heroes who turn to villains. When you think about, say, Destiny might not be the most phenomenal story out there, but the lore is phenomenal. And in the Destiny lore, there's rogue Guardians. There's Guardians who turn their back on the light. There's Guardians who turn their back on the Traveler. In Star Wars, there's a Sith. The Sith turn their back on the light. They turn their back on the Jedi. Most, if not all, Sith started off as Jedi and then went bad. And you can find things like that in basically every single story in science fiction, where there's a hero who goes bad. You could have did that with Locke. Locke could have been a hero, and for whatever reason, he decided that he didn't want to, be the good guy anymore. He felt like the Guardians of Prometheus had the best idea, and Roland felt the same. And so you give Locke, his own team with Roland, who Chief and Blue Team and Cortana are hunting down. Now, I wouldn't say it should be the exact same team that they have in Halo 5, because I think Tanaka is a terrible character. Buck is too much of a fan favorite character to be the villain. Because you don't want to risk that. You don't want to have a game where a fan favorite becomes a bad person, because that's kind of what a lot of the hatred towards Halo 5 is. People don't like that Cortana is basically the villain in Halo 5. So you made one of the most beloved characters in gaming, Cortana, the bad person in Halo 5. And that, that just left a huge bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. And no matter what Halo 5 did, multiplayer wise or story wise, they were not going to enjoy that game because Cortana was not by Chief's side the entire game. So you don't want to do the same thing with Buck. Buck is a fan favorite. You don't want to make him the bad guy. So about Vale. Vale, out of all the Spartans in Locke's team, is most interesting. She has a very interesting backstory. She has very, very interesting lore towards her. So I would say have her in the game, as well as Buck. Have Buck in the game as well, but don't have her in Locke's team. Have her as, someone kind of similar to how Sarah Palmer is. Palmer is kind of just a support character in the back who every now and then you see and she talks and things of that nature, but she's not really a part of anyone's squad. So you build Locke a team of Spartans who gone rogue. You had the Halo Nightfall series. In the Halo Nightfall series, there's a Spartan in it who quit being a Spartan basically. I don't remember if he lived or died in that series, but for the sake of this video, let's say he lived. He should be part of Spartan Locke's team. So if you have Nightfall, which is meant to give you backstory and an idea of who Locke is as a person, you have characters in that show who are former Spartans or current Spartans who sympathizes with Locke and join Locke's cause. You could have used Halo Nightfall as a way to set up why Locke went bad, that you could have did with the Halo Nightfall series. So you build him up a team of people of former Spartans who agree with his ideology, and they all are tasked. They all join Locke and Roland, or any other kind of. It can be any AI, but I'm just going to use Roland as an example because Roland's a AI who we're all familiar with because he's in Halo 4. So him and Roland and three other Spartans who turn. They join forces with Prometheans and with the Guardians, with the Wart Eternal. Wart Eternal is one who gets Prometheans to join Spartan Locke's cause, and they're all and everything that happens in Halo 5 goes the same way it goes, but instead of Cortana being the driving force of the bad, it's Locke and his team. And throughout all of that, Chief is hunting him. Chief and Blue Team are hunting them down. Chief, Blue Team, and Cortana are hunting them down. I think having Blue Team is important because it's Chief's team. When it comes to the video games, people aren't familiar with Blue Team. They're not, because most people don't read the books. But if you read the books, Blue Team and Chief, that's his team. That's his family. So it's important that they are in a game. The dynamic that 343 had when it comes to Blue Team was a good dynamic. And it should be in Halo 6. Keep Blue Team in Halo 6. Halo Infinite. Yes, Chief should focus on the story, but Blue Team should still be present. Especially when it comes to co-op and things of that nature. When it comes to co-op, people should still be playing as members of Blue Team instead of let's just have 3 or 4 Chiefs. Or 2 Chiefs. If it goes back to just 2-player co-op. But it should be a focus. And again, when it comes to Halo 5's story, I don't think it was a bad story. I just think that because the driving force of it was Locke hunting down Chief and Chief hunting down Cortana, it left a bad taste in people's mouth, and that's what was bad about the game. From a cutscene standpoint, the cutscenes were phenomenal. From an acting standpoint, the voice actors did an amazing job. Everything about Halo 5, if you go back and play it, was pretty solid other than what drove the story. What was the plot? And the cliffhanger ending, I don't mind cliffhanger endings. It sets up the next game. So, and I said it back when this first happened that I'm more interested in what happens in Halo 6 because of the ending of Halo 5 than I would be if the ending was something different and Halo 6 just starts. And it's not like Halo is unfamiliar to cliffhanger endings, because damn near every Halo game has a cliffhanger ending. Halo 3. How does Halo 3 end? Was it wake me up when ready, or was that Halo 4? I forget. That's a cliffhanger. There's one which I'm pretty sure, if it's not Halo 3, it's Halo 2. Pretty sure it's Halo 3, where Chief, maybe Halo 2, where Chief gets onto a Covenant ship, and someone asks him, I forgot who it was. It's been a while since I played Halo 2 and 3. And one of them asks Chief, what is he doing? And Chief goes, going to finish the fight. And that's how it ends. That's the cliffhanger. Halo always has a cliffhanger. So why is it only bad that Halo? Why do people only get mad when Halo 5 did it? It wasn't because of the cliffhanger. It was because they were just upset with the whole driving of the story to where everything else just pissed people off. You get to a point when it comes to content, when it comes to video games, movies, anything, to where if one thing upset you, that's gonna be your reason to hate it. Think of the Titans TV series on DC Universe. People hate that show without even watching it. They saw trailers and pictures of how the characters look and was like, you know what? Trash. But didn't even watch it. Before they even see it, they already have a thought of how bad it is just because of the way it looks. Same thing comes with Halo 5. People hate Halo 5 even though their biggest reason for it is Locke chasing down Chief and Chief chasing down Cortana. That dynamic killed Halo 5's story because that's a bad plot. If you keep everything else the same and you change up Locke being the bad guy and Chief and Cortana being together and they're hunting down Locke and his own team of rogue Spartans, things get a little different. Things get a lot better. So just interesting thought for the Halo fans out there. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you all enjoyed, leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.